content over me and getting my friends from over there onto TikTok too. Hey everybody, glad you're here. We are going to have an incredible conversation this evening and the whole thing about why you deserve better. So here's a question that we're just going to start out this conversation with that I think is a really, really, really important question. And it's probably going to trigger you. And as my intention is not to trigger you, my intention is for you to see what is possible for you. Okay. So the question is, what determines your level of deservedness? What determines your level of deservedness, right? Because what you believe you deserve is what you got, how you're going to show up in this world. And by the way, if everybody could jump in on here, could share with your friends what I'm going to be talking about, like the world needs to hear this message. So I'd really appreciate if you guys share this video with some of your followers. That would be greatly appreciated. That would mean a lot to me. What is your level of deservedness, right? Because whatever you believe that is supporting or not supporting what it is that you really want to create in your life, right? And when you understand that there is no other person on this planet like you, has been, is, or ever going to be like you, then you start understanding that we have, like for me, I have a moral obligation. Like for me, my own morals, that whatever that means to you, I have a moral obligation to do every single thing I can to get my gifts in people's hands, because otherwise I can't transform their lives, right? And I literally, not like this is so if you had the cure for cancer, how tenacious would you be on getting that message out to other people? Like, how much would you buy into someone else's model of the world? Friends, understand, every single conversation you have, someone is enrolling somebody else into something else. What is the purpose? What is your purpose in life? My purpose is to use my passion and creativity to empower others to live to their fullest potential. Okay. So what is your level of deservedness, right? Because what you think that is going to have a massive impact on what your bandwidth is of a receivership, right? And see, what are the stories that you have experienced that has been a part of the program that you have around abundance, around prosperity, around wealth, around like, and ask a question, how do you measure success, right? Well, we got to start out, what does success mean to you? Right? Because see, and that's a great question, Helen, because we cannot inventory something that we're not able to measure, right? And so what do? Is we set up, and this is why the question is so important. What is your level of deservedness, right? Because we have biases within ourselves that are going to massively impact what that means to us. 85% of lottery winners file bankruptcy within 5 years winning the lottery. It's the sudden wealth syndrome. It is real. 9 out of 10 businesses fail in the first 5 years. 80% of the ones that make it in the first 5 years fail in the next 5 years, right? Why? Why is these statistics so like daunting? It's because of the inner programming. It's because of the inner programming, right? Like how many of you can accept a compliment? Like not only accept it, but like receive it, like really receive it when somebody says, because of you, I have transformed my life. Whatever it is, like how you show up is like this most incredible person. I love acknowledging people. I just love acknowledging people because not enough people in this world go out and not acknowledge other people, right? And if you guys want to have some fun, I'll tell you, I got too many cords over here. I just did my challenge and I still got cords that I am untangling. You guys want to do something really fun? Like really, really, really fun and really, really, really transformational for people out there and really create an epic vibe that you have to do in order to experience it. Like, are you up for that? Right? Started receiving, really receive. Yes, awesome. Yes, you have, Helen. Yes, you have. Okay, so cut out 100 hearts. Cut out 100 hearts. Write an affirmation on there. Like, I am blessed to experience you. You are highly favored and highly blessed, like whatever your affirmations is, and then go out to Target, go out to Walmart, go out to some department store, go out to the mall and start handing them out. Just start handing them out to people and watch what happens. Watch what happens. Like I have had people literally break down in tears going like I think the one that I handed this woman, it was a heart, and it says, I see you. She opened it up and just broke down crying. She goes, I just buried my friend today. I just buried my best friend today of 40 years or 50 years or whatever it was. She goes, I just buried my friend today. And I was just praying, God, show me a sign that she's still here. Like, blew me away when she shared that, right? Like, what if your life is more divinely orchestrated than what you believe it is? I would just encourage you to start stepping into that, right? Because this has a massive impact. So I'm just going to drop some real bombs here, okay? This is the thing that I've seen with very high achievers, entrepreneurs, all kinds of things, right? Like very high achievers, people that want to make a difference, creators, influencers, is this thing around failure. Okay. Now I've got my own journey with it as well. I'm not here to tell anybody that I've got this thing called life down. It's mastery, which means I get to practice at it all the time with different ways and things like that. So it's a mastery, right? Like mastery, it becomes more of a way of life when you step into mastering what it is that you really want to create in this world, right? And so I've had this conversation come up many, many times around failure. And like, see, and our arrogance will not, and our ego will not allow us to even look at this because of how we look at failure, right? But you cannot change something until you get real about it, right? So when somebody's talking to me and I start going down this path and I start recognizing you have social heredity, you have physical heredity, you have psychological heredity, you have lots of different things that are impacting in your program that you were developed in your developmental years. Your 0 to 7 is your imprint years, right? And so I don't know what kind of schooling you grew up in, but I'm a Gen Xer. Like Gen Xers are just amazing on so many levels, right? Like they went through a lot of stuff that has created a much better life for people that follow them. But when we used to get our test scores, we used to have our test scores put up out in the hallway, and everybody in the entire school got to see our test scores. And guess which one stood out the most? Guess which one stood out the most? The ones with red magic marker on it that had a big old F on top of our score. Hey, Leslie, it's good to see you. Right? So anybody that got an F was massively humiliated. Not only were they humiliated, but anybody that was observing that going, I don't ever want to experience what that person is experiencing that had the F. That's one thing. Okay. So it's not failure that we are afraid of. What we are afraid of is re-experiencing a memory that we have in the past when we or somebody else experienced humiliation for not making the grade. Okay. Lori, it's great to see you. Okay. So I just want you to think about this. The other thing, this is another one. You are not loved by God if you sin. If you question, you are punished by God. If you do not believe the way we believe, you are punished by God, right? Like there's so many things we have been indoctrinated with. If you step outside of the line, then you are going to be humiliated. You are going to be exiled by the community, which is our deepest fear. This is our deepest fear, is to be separated from our community. Mr. Strickland. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Like that almost reminds me of a teacher that Mr. Strickland. Dude, do I know you? Like that name's, I can't think of it right now, but that's almost reminds me of a teacher that I had, right? Like I had a shop teacher that made you grab your ankles, and he had a board yay big that had holes in it, and wham, right? Going outside of the line meant punishment. Okay? How much does that impact your ability to step into your greatness? How much does that impact your ability to create what it is that you want to create? Like, I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, I'm not creative, which is an absolute lie. I don't know about you, but there's lots of things that document this. We are made in the image of God. We are made in the image of the Creator. We're made in the image of whatever that means to you, right? And see, there's so many people that don't want to believe in God because of the pain that they experience with religion. Just saying, okay? Yeah, and Cherie, like I got swatted daily. It's humiliating as a child, right? Because what happens, your ego wants to protect you, and your ego creates biases about things that it has seen is being able to understand that when we have a painful experience, it's going to do everything it can to avoid having that again. Right? Like we were told, don't put your hand on the burner, don't put your hand on the burner, don't put your hand on the burner. That is a belief that is assigned to you, right? But then once you put your hand on the burner, now it becomes first person. Now it becomes like, oh my gosh, like don't do this again, right? But see, this is the same thing. No, this isn't a wedding ring. This is my aura ring. This is my right hand. So being able to understand what it is that keeps you from experiencing the pain that you experienced as a child. Okay. That's really, really, really important to understand this, right? So what we do is we take that pain, right? Like, don't put your hand on a burner. Like, I don't know how many of you have experienced putting your hand on a burner. It burns, like it hurts, right? And anytime you see a red burner coming up from that, it's going to trigger your body because your body is a survival mechanism, right? Best ring ever, Cherie. I told my client Cherie to get one. These rings are freaking amazing. Like, yeah, this measures your heartbeat, how you sleep, like everything. These things are awesome. But understanding this is what we are avoiding. We are avoiding re-experiencing something that happened in the past, right? And it's humiliation. And if we don't transcend that humiliation, which keeps us in shame, then we are going to be living our lives based on something that happened in the future, in the past. So me asking the question, who is really running your life? Who is really running your life? And I shared this on the live that I did earlier today. What is the greatest gift we've all been given? We've all been given this gift, right? And to me, it's the greatest gift that is an expression of love, right? Because to really understand it, you would know that somebody would have to love you to endow you with this gift, right? The greatest gift that we have been given, the greatest expression of love that we have been given is choice. Is choice. And to really understand the responsibility of choice, we have to have polarity, right? Not duality, polarity. So you have negative, you have positive, right? And so I thought the greatest gift was life. Okay, for sure. But that's still a choice that decides whether life is the greatest gift or not, right? Because for some people, the greatest gift is ending their life, right? It's choice. It is choice, right? And to really have somebody love you at that level that they give you choice to say, I bestow upon you whether you're going to choose to love me or not, right? Like that's pretty amazing when you really start thinking about that. But see, the other thing about that is that we've been given it, so has everybody else, right? But see, people can choose to empower you and call you forward, or people can choose to hang on to the things that keep them playing small, and then that's how they show up in everybody else's life. Like, friends, I promise you, like I've had all kinds of interesting comments from people jumping on here that have nothing better to do than to try to make other people's lives come down to their level, right? Like, I get it. I've been there. I was one of those people, right? And so what it is being able to understand, what do you deserve? And there are some doctrines out there that says you're unworthy. You fall short of God, right? Friends, understand this. This is super important. This is super, super important, because looking at things in contrast, okay? And also putting things in context, right? Because you can take words out of context. You can take anything out of context, which the media is really, really, really good at, right? Like they've had pictures of Prince, I don't know, who is Lady Di's oldest son? I can't remember his name. This tells you how much I watch news. But he's waving like this at somebody, and somebody got an angle of it. And it looks like he's flipping somebody off, right? Understand, what you perceive is a reflection of you. What you perceive is a reflection of you, right? So what is it that you deserve? What is it that you deserve, and who decided that for you, right? So having compassion for your little self and comforting that child will transcend it, without a doubt. Absolutely. So somebody over here asked, so what is it that transcends these experiences, right? What transcends trauma? And humiliation is trauma, straight up, like it just is. What transcends that is having an empathetic witness. Having an empathetic witness. Because see, what happens is we have this humiliation, And because of what we experience, now we do everything we can in our life to get rid of that part of us. And then what we end up doing is that we end up demonizing that part of us, just like the experience did, right? Because the more I do this, the more it just amazes me how awesome we are, so uniquely designed, right? Like, it's just fascinating how we are designed, and understanding that, like, think about, making it to 40, not making it to nobody, but when you get to 40, and it's like the second half of your life is undoing all the things that happened to you before you were 40. And this becomes your greatest power, right? It's like I shared, like with my flip process, right? Forgiveness, okay, like that's a whole other conversation in itself. Letting go, right, which is another conversation, into power, right? True healing is when you reclaim the power that the wound denied you, right? Like, okay, so forgiveness, okay, cool. Yes, forgive the person, blah, 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 whatever. But understand, when you had that experience, you got seared inside of your nervous system, this intense emotional experience. And this is what you want to, this is what we are programmed. Our ego goes, dude, don't ever do that again because it's too painful, right? But that's the opportunity for us. And so when we can move through that threshold by loving that version of us, right? Think about, let's just play this out. So 75% of what we know is before the age of 5. Like, just let that sink in for a minute. So you're a 5-year-old, okay? You're this big, right? And you have an adult that's this big, okay? Just in the comparison of the two people involved in this experience, this big person talks at this little person. This little person doesn't feel like they have any power, right? They feel worthless. They feel less than. They don't feel like they're enough. They don't feel like they can stand up to a big old giant, okay? Because to a little child, somebody that's that much, I mean, seriously, like the adult as a child is like 3 times bigger than the child, right? They feel totally dominated. Like, there's no choice in this, right? But see, then when we grow as an adult, that experience of that little child is still in there. That little child experience is still in there, right? So it's like you changing the representation of that experience. You are not that little child anymore. That little child is still inside of you, without a doubt. But that experience gets to change by how you hold space for that experience, right? Like, as an adult, how many experiences did you have as a child that you would never, ever, ever do to a child? Like, how many can sign up for that class? Like, hello, many of us, right? But see, but then what happens is that we think standing in our power is we become the person that was the perpetrator to the victim. Hear what I just said. When it comes to us as an adult, standing in our power, standing in our autonomy, standing in our greatness, right? Setting boundaries, saying no, doing whatever we can, to protect our energy. What we do is we associate it to the adult that was dominating and forceful over that child of us. We are not this person. We're not that person. We are now being the adult that this little child needed when it was a child, when somebody else was supposed to show up for that child and teach that child what does it mean to be interdependent, right? Like, you hear all these people, I'm independent, I don't need anybody. Yeah, good luck with that. That's a total wound that's speaking that way, right? Because you needing somebody means weakness. That's all it is, right? Like, growing up in a dysfunctional home, you can become independent or codependent. To the extreme cases, you become narcissist or codependent. Right? So when somebody starts saying that language with me, it's just like, okay, cool. Why is protecting yourself so important? And usually when you get into it is because they're afraid of getting hurt. Like, look, how much of your life have you spent protecting yourself from getting hurt? Right? And this all goes back to your level of deservingness. Do you deserve to be loved? Do you deserve to be loved? Do you deserve to be cherished? Do you deserve to be honored? I don't like getting hurt because it doesn't feel good. Okay, yeah, for sure, without a doubt, right? But how many times have you hurt yourself? How many times have you hurt yourself? Like, I'm going to drop a truth bomb here. I'm going to be dropping a truth bomb. Everybody look out, look out for what I'm going to drop on Instagram or TikTok tomorrow. I'm going to be putting a video up there that's real talk, okay? And what I mean by that, it's going to rub some people. But see, the reason I want to put it out there, my intention is to get people to understand how their perceptions is what creates their own suffering, right? What we perceive in is agreement to our inner world. Okay. And so I'm going to be putting a talk up there where I seen this TikTok about this African American woman. Very important that I say that. Very, very, very overweight, right? She was obese, right? No judgment. This is what it is, right? It's no different than an alcoholic showing up drunk. Like this is one of the things that gets under my skin. Obesity is the number one addiction on the planet right now. Like, I just want to be real about that, right? But they're wanting to make it socially acceptable. Just want to leave you with that. Sugar is the number one addiction right now. Like, it's out of control. It's out of control. Like, obesity is going through the roof, right? So she's very overweight, Black African-American woman. And she's talking about ripping Martin Luther King Jr. apart. She's just like, no, he's not a leader, and that's not what it means to be a leader. He cheated on his wife, and blah, blah, blah. Like, just going off on Martin Luther King Jr. And I was like, wow, isn't that interesting? Here you are, an African-American woman that is able to do what you're able to do because of what Martin Luther King Jr. did. Like, that's interesting in itself, okay? But see, this is what people do, is because as society, remember what I said, it's the social heredity, the social programming, right, has taught us to look through the eyes of duality. Okay. So you're either good or you're bad. You're not anywhere in between that, right? I don't look at things as good and bad. I look at it as effective or ineffective. Like that, like the being wrong is, I love being wrong. Like, I love it, right? So I thought to myself, I was like, interesting. You're sitting there annihilating him because he cheated on his wife. Now, the first thing I would think about is like, okay, cool. Think about what he did. Like, think about, and again, I'm not justifying anything. I've been on both sides of this equation. Like, I've been on both sides. And so think about the suffering, the torment that this guy had to have gone through, making his statement about standing up for his people. Think about that. Like, how many times he was beat up? How many times was his friends beat to death? Like, go watch, I can't remember the name, the town that he was in. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. Go watch that movie. Like, go watch what he went through to do what he did, to catalyze the movement that is a result of where we're at today, right? Lots and lots and lots of torment, right? So it's easy to go, yeah, he cheated and all that stuff, but okay, are you willing to go through what he did and do what he did? Right? I mean, just think about that, right? Because see, all of us are human. All of us are human. And see, here's the thought I had about her. I was like, how many times have you cheated on yourself? See, nobody wants to have that conversation. How many times have we cheated on ourselves? How many times did we make a commitment and not follow through with it? How many times did we say, I'm going to do it this time and not do it? But yet when somebody else cheats on us, look the hell out. I'm going to annihilate this person and assassinate them and everything else. But we never look at how we treat ourselves. I've cheated on myself. I can't tell you how many times, right? And really, when you cheat on a relationship, that's what you're doing, right? You're like not honoring. Like I said, I've been on both sides of the equation, right? So this is not coming from philosophy for me. This is coming from experience with me, right? And the more our inner world and our outer world is apart, the more we're going to suffer. The more we suffer, the more we're going to look outside ourselves to find significance, to find whatever, right? And see, it's easy for us to look at somebody else's life and run it through our filters and make judgment calls on somebody else and not understand what is really going on. Like the guy that I don't watch TV, I don't watch the news and stuff like that. They want to keep you distracted, by the way, but it was some guy that's married to a Victoria's Secret model, right? Like the dude just got annihilated, right? And nobody knows what's really happening in that marriage. Well, she's a Victoria's Secret model. Like, why would you cheat on a Victoria's Secret model? Okay, she's got a great body and great looks and makes lots of money being a Victoria's Secret model, but does anybody really know what it's like living with her? Or vice versa, right? Like, we make these snap judgments. Why? To protect ourselves. Judgment is used to protect ourselves. It's a protective mechanism. It's a survival mechanism. Right? So when we can start looking at our own humanity and embracing the things that we have done, like I almost killed my sister. Like I almost ended her life when I was 19 years old. That took me decades to work through that. Okay. I have filed bankruptcy. I have been divorced. Like I have done through the things that like is unheard of to some people, right? Like I have preached the word of God and like all these things. And yet, how do I hold space for my own humanity? Well, it shows up by how I hold space for other people's shortcomings. Right? This is one of the things I loved about AAs. AA 6 and 7 step made me really look at how I show up and how I create the things that I want to create. I have no place. I have no place to judge anybody else. And nobody else has any really place to judge me either. Right? And if they do, cool. Not cool, but that's a reflection of them. Until we embrace our own humanity, we will always fight with each other. Right? And so it's like the good old carpenter said, don't look at the grain of sand in my eye, look at the plank in your eye. Right? And so all of this impacts your level of deservedness. Your subconscious is going to serve you the way it believes you want to be served. And so if you're judging somebody else for what it is that you want to create, you just created imaginary breaks. Okay? Like when I went bald, you don't even want to hear that conversation. Like I was suicidal. Right? So think about what type of person irritates you. Where does that irritation come from? Because see, this is all stuff that we were conditioned. Children aren't born into this world with this stuff. They are conditioned to believe it. They experience it. They watch it with mom and dad. Your money programs is a reflection of the environment that you grew up in. Like I've had clients that had very, very, very successful dads, very successful parents, but the dad was the entrepreneur, right? And he hated money. Like he'd go out and make $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 and then lose it all, make all kinds of money again and lose it all. Right? We did the unconscious work and found out as a child, he made a decision that he hated money because money is what he thought took his dad away from him. I hated money as well. Like I used to watch my parents just beat the hell out of each other over money. And therefore I went, money is bad. Money is what's causing this. Right? So why would I attract something into my life that I felt was causing physical violence in the house? Right? It's getting real about the programs that are playing inside of you, my friend. Right? And that's Napoleon Hill. Like I just did a class. In fact, if you haven't signed up for the ROI Accelerator Challenge, I'd recommend that you go do that because like the people's lives are about to radically change in there and they're going to be creating amazing things. But in the bonus, I did a class on law of success. Okay. Napoleon Hill interviewed over 16,000 people. And the thing that startled him more than anything, and I totally align with this, is people's inability to get honest about their inadequacies. It's how you hold your inadequacies that determines your level of deservedness. Until you're okay with and love every part of you, when you love all the programs that you created in the context of survival and understand that this is just how we're made. We are made to create these apps and these programs, but we're not going to be able to thrive with survival programs, right? But we've got to love those parts of us, right? Because if we don't, we're going to keep them in shame and darkness, and that's going to keep us separated, and we're not ever going to feel whole, right? The objective of life is to be whole, to be a being and stand in your greatness, okay? So I appreciate each and every one of you being here. And if you have not signed up for the ROI Accelerator Challenge, I'm going to be get on the waiting list. Like right now, there's just a waiting list. And I get over there and sign up for it because this, this is like, it's going to show you how to rewrite your past. Rewrite your past, optimize everything that you want to optimize in your life so that you can be clearly focused on what it is that you want to create and then being able to influence yourself and others so that you're the only reasonable choice for whatever it is that you want to create. Right? Like, so I asked the question, if you had the cure for cancer, how much tenacity would you have convincing somebody that you had the cure for cancer? Well, what if that cure for cancer is you? What if that cure for cancer is you? Like, what if you had a message that would impact somebody's life even more than the cure for cancer? See, friends, my understanding, darkness is the most dangerous cancer out there. And darkness has its agenda. Darkness wants to stay alive. Okay, so how we change that? We bring more light to the world, right? That's my mission. So I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you so much. And we will see you on TikTok tomorrow. And I will see you here if you're on TikTok, get over to Potential Zone Group. If you're here with my other ones, go over to TikTok and see what I'm doing over there. Amazing stuff I'm putting on there as well. So I appreciate, I got a comment. Did you miss something? Yes. No, you didn't. You didn't miss anything. So I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you so much. I love each and every one of you. You're amazing. And as always, my friends, live like your life depends on it, because it does. Much love. Take care. Have a great